Welcome back to Lane's ED Enhancement. Today we continue cargo planning with another basic stowing exercise, number 3. Here we are asked to store the following containers on a given bay. It's bay 606 below deck, where we have been given 6 rows and 5 tiers. We have been given 20-foot container, 4 for port A and 6 for port B. We have been given 40-foot dry van. We have been given 6 for port A and 6 for port B. Finally, we have been given 40-foot I cubes with 5 for port A and 5 for port B. Always ensure that you label the bay. Port A is our first port of call, or the first discharge port. The key we'll be using today is red for port A and black for port B. First thing we do as usual is to label the bay. Now, as you can see, it's bay 6. So the forward bay is bay 5 and the after bay is bay 7. And as usual, since it's 6 rows, we find a midship and go left to port side with even numbers and right to starboard side with odd numbers. We also start, since it's below deck, we start with 02 up to the 5th tier, which is 10. Now, the first thing we will do is to begin stowing the last port that the vessel is going to. So that would be port B. So let us look at how we should never stow the vessel. As you can see from this diagram of the bay, you see that we have all of port A on the port side of the vessel. The majority. There's only one port A container in the 03 row. And we also have the majority of the port B containers on the starboard side, with only one in the 02 row. Now, everything looks fine, but imagine when we discharge the containers for the first port, the vessel is going to capsize. Why? Because of the overwhelming number of containers on the starboard side. Now, we must always exercise the FILO and the LIFO principle. First in, last out, and last in, first out. And we should stow accordingly. Now let us look how we should stow. First, we will stow for port B, which is the last port of discharge. That is achieved by stowing the 20-foot containers first and foremost for port B. Bear in mind that we have 20-foot containers also going to port A, and so we will not stow all the 40-foot boxes for port B on top of the 20s, because we have to leave space so that the 20-foot boxes that are going to port A can go on top of those 20s. As you know, 20s cannot go on top of 40s. Then we would store the other port B containers we will try to distribute them over all the rows, even though we do not have any indication of weight, so we will have any stability issues and so on. But we try to distribute them to make this stool look very even. Now, let's look at stowing for port A. We should then stow the first port of call on top of those containers. Again, we will first stow the 20 foot, then distribute the other port A containers in all the rows. Here we have a fairly good distribution of containers for both ports, and this is necessary as it will prepare us for when the introduction of weight comes in our next video. So as you can see, we have stored all the containers for port B, 6 DVs, 5 I cubes, 3 20-foot containers, and we have also stored all the containers for port A, 4 DVs, 4 20-foot containers, 6 DVs, and 5 I cubes. Now, as I said earlier, we try to stow evenly, nice even spread, so that when the time comes for us to utilize weight with these, it becomes very simple. So join me next time when we'll be stowing with weight and outer gauge cargo, which is our exercise 4. Please remember to do what you do best. Subscribe, like, and share. So stay tuned for the next video with weights and outer gauge cargo. See you next time.